Good evening, good evening. So I want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Alfonso Zay and Sot of the Liberia Public Radio. The conversation is on in the West African state of Liberia. Adiot, good evening to Gina. Welcome. Newton to Mr. Melvin to Nambit. Vanessa, thank you for joining us, wherever you are. Mercy, good evening. Julie, Prince Peter, good evening to welcome Zanian, Abraham, Cedric, Agnes, good evening. Ibrahim Cook, thank you. Alison Mamint and Kamara and all of you great people. I want to welcome you to this editions of All Things Considered right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. This is how we're going to study at this event. A lot is ongoing in Liberia, and you know that it's time to have the conversation here. We'd like to hear it from the house's mouth and not to make up here. The analyst is going to be here very shortly. And of course, it is the traditions of this network. We intend not to leave no one behind in the conversations of Liberia because it is a country, it is our country, and no one should have the dominant force to be the only person. Tonight, Wednesday, all things considered, right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. And of course, the first provisional result has crashing, a lot of conversations unfolding. Let's start the program right here, right now. Just hit the share button and invite someone to this program. If this is the first time, we throw the red carpet for you and say you are wholeheartedly welcome. This is the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio. Welcome to the show. Good evening, good evening. So I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for sharing this evening and morning hour, depending your location to wherever you are. We want to welcome you. We say thank you for being here this evening. And of course, do us a favor to share this live view and invite someone at your company to right here. Prosper Terry. Terry, my man, don't start trouble here this evening. Good evening, so good evening, good evening. We want to welcome all of you right here now. This is your informative news magazine, always here to every Wednesday. This section is meant to give you voice. Like we say here, we intend not to leave no one behind, especially when it comes to Liberia. Do not allow us to run this talking point by ourselves. It is your country, and you do have an ultimate share and responsibility as well to engage the conversation, to be part of the conversation. And that's why we always try to push it. We intend and will not leave no one behind. Time check here in the East Coast from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio. It's 8:07 Eastern Standard Time. A little after what, 1 a.m. in Liberia? Everybody waiting to see what the next day, 3, 4 o'clock going to bring. We say good evening and thank you so much for being here. Well, today, local time today at around 3 o'clock. The institution responsible to oversee national elections in the country by virtue of our constitution, the National Election Commission, mounted the podium to give Liberians, people been holding their breath, speculations, apprehensions, and all sort of polling system coming in from all sides, be it the opposition or the ruling establishment, celebrating, having their celebratory move of then claiming victory. Who is on the path to this? How they got to this point? Fair to mention, these parties, they do have numbers somehow, some way. What we need to do is to validate this number. Are they meant to certify their political basis and to keep the energy burning within the system to give hope to their process? So they will always breach the gap that the information with respect to NEC. With NEC, it's a little bit different. These tally centers has to be transported in the specific locations. That's Magistrate Code 19. They will be centralized and they will be verified, sealed or tally before you will see NEC mount the podiums. It is not as it is being done by this political party. It is a chain of command. It is a process. They have to verify it. They will check it, have them transported to their tally center, have them seal it up in a special way. So it is not easy as it is. It's a political party. So you will find that these parties will get ahead of the shadows in the game. They will always announce these numbers as they have it. Whether we can validate them, whether they are the real numbers, that's another thing. But it is the process. This is the reason why they are always ahead. But this is how it unfolded all to date. LPR was also there with many network, but this one here, courtesy, to give you a vivid illustration to what happens at the national elections headquarters. Commissioners mounted the podiums, media institutions, foreign, local, international observers, Liberians far in and out of the country glued to the immediate outlet to hear the first word coming from the National Election Commission as they announced the first consignment or first batch of the provisional results. Let's listen to this and we will have a conversation. I am Afonso Z, and so let's get the ball rolling.
And members of the Board of Commissioners, our local and international partners, local and international observer groups here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate, we'd like to welcome you once again to this daily press briefing from the runoff presidential election 2023 in Liberia. The chairperson of the National Elections Commission is Madam Deviata Brown Lansanan. Madam Chairperson, the audience.
Good afternoon, Madam Co-Chair and fellow commissioners. Members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you to the headquarters of the National Elections Commission and to the Commission's daily press briefing. The focus of today's briefing is to begin the announcement of progressive results from the 14 November 2023 presidential runoff election. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, having successfully conducted the presidential runoff election, the Commission informs you about on-the-spot vote counting, which was completed immediately following the polls of 14 November 2023. Retrieval of electoral materials used during the polls also began immediately following the counting of votes and is continuing. The Commission reports that during the vote counting and the retrieval of electoral materials, there were isolated cases of disturbances at some of the precincts, especially in Montserrado County. For example, at Sister Kathleen Maguire Catholic School Precinct in Electoral District number 6, some citizens damaged one of the rented vehicles on grounds that it was not NEC vehicle and should not have taken electoral materials to voting centers. Similarly, in Electoral District number 12, at the Chicken Soup Factory AGM School, another hired vehicle was prevented from retrieving electoral materials for the same reason. Also in Electoral District number 2, at the MVTC precinct, an electoral supervisor was attacked and wounded. Thankfully, the LNP took the necessary actions to quell those incidents. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the tally process was officially launched on 15 November 2023 at the Ellen Johnson Solid Ministerial Complex for Montserrado County and the 17 magisterial areas outside of Montserrado. Party agents, as well as independent, local, regional, and international observers, were at the official tally launch today. The Commission notes that the official tallied results from the magisterial offices are already being progressively transmitted to the NEC data center at the headquarters collation. The following are the tally results of the presidential runoff election from the magisterial offices across the country to date. I will now read the consolidated national presidential progressive tally reports, to be followed by those reports from the counties. Of a total of 1,315 polling places, of a total of 5,890 polling places, constituting 22.33%. Boyka Joseph N., UP, votes obtained 193,041, constituting 50.71%. Weah George Manning, CDC, votes obtained 187,615, constituting 49.29%. Total valid votes 380,656, constituting 100%. Total invalid votes 5,420. Total votes 386,076. Those were the results from the National Presidential Progressive Tally Report Consolidated. I will now invite Commissioner Floyd Sear to begin to read results from the counties.
Presidential Report, Consolidated Progressive. Bapolu County, 42 polling places of the total of 134 polling places, constituting 31.34%. Boyka Joseph N., UP, votes obtained 5,610, constituting 55.45%. Weah George Manning, CDC, votes obtained 4,507, constituting 44.55%. Total valid votes 10,117, constituting 100%. Total invalid votes 224. Total votes 10,341. Moserado County, 557 polling places out of 2,008 polling places, constituting 27.74%.
Okay.
Boyka Joseph N., UP, votes obtained 96,789, constituting 53%. Weah George Manning, CDC, votes obtained 85,820.
All right. I think there's going to be a fireworks here tonight. That's how it started this morning. Ultimately, this is what the National Election Commission were able to pull up. CDC George Weah, 49.29%. Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka of the opposition Unity Party, 50.17%. What a day in Liberia. We are about to get this program on the way here. Welcome to the show, and I'm Alfonso Zienso. Good evening, good evening. I'm Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. In order to stabilize the conversations and not to allow the two gentlemen that are contesting for the overall office in our own way of thinking to create sanity and peace, we created a buffer zone. Ambassador George Weah, CDC, facing my screen. On the left, Joseph Newman Boycott of the Unity Party. On the far right, in the middle, AZ Executive Mansions of the Republic of Liberia, which is official to residents. The two gentlemen, one is in possession of the key, and the other one is trying to be the new landlord. Is that by eviction? No, it is through a democratic process. And so we must mention that. Okay, so the buffer zone is there, so there will be no problem. Nobody will hold them. Nobody going to violate that. They're going to go through a process in order to be the actual landlord, the owner of that building. What we are about to get a conversation on the way. The analysts are here, assembled cross country, right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Self-proclaimed independent Malik Jones is a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV, is here with us here this evening to have it. Legendary Sissy Goyot, a one-time supporter of Councillor Tiawose Gongo. But after the broom straw went off and everything went helter-skelter, he decided not to sit on the bench to be like Malik Jones and myself. Sissy said, I am taking the page at Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka. Well, who is smiling this evening here? The first provisional results are up. Everybody holding to their breath. Let me bring in the gentleman here this evening. Malik Jones is here, and Sissy Goyot is here. Gentlemen, good evening. Malik, your glasses having issue?
No, I try to put it in a position where it won't rebel tonight.
Okay, I thought maybe you have issue with the first provisional result, and that's why you try to clean your glasses.
I was cleaning it to see Comrade Sissy Goya face properly.
You want to start with him so quick, the man, he been away for yeah, they got please, I beg you from there. I slept. Okay, gentlemen, good evening. Thank you for being here. It's good to have you here this evening. We know
welcome, sir.
Your new assignment, so we don't want to battle before the state of Minnesota. I hold us a winner. You can't tell you, say, my man, you want to be here or you want to go somewhere where you will not get paid. How will you take care of your family? Okay, gentlemen.
I hear LPR paying people now, so that's why I came back now. Yes,
I wish you, Lord, when you get some, let me know.
That's good news.
Okay, guys, good evening. Good to have you here today, man. The ball kick off here, but let's try and pull around the entire process. There's conversations all over the place here. What came out today was 22%. Other people found why would they put this number out here? But we must also understand these things. It takes a process to get these things going from one place to another. So this is all things considered. It's usually Wednesday here, but this is a press button issue. But I don't intend to triumph over anybody's own talking point here this evening. Let me start with Malik Jones. Yesterday you started here and it was just crazy. I'm not sure that's how you're going to continue this evening here. But let me hear from you. Let's go into your political playbook. What do you have in your playbook this evening?
What I have in my playbook this evening is in line with the provisional results.
Provisional result.
Yes, I'm beginning to get the feeling that the Unity Party did not yield our advice we put forward many times on this platform.
Don't let the cat out of the bag. I'm just trying to get the gist of that because you're trying to step up trouble so fast. Sister Gloria, this guy, he's trying to take because of the intro. I'm not sure that's why he tried to do, but he's trying to blow the horn, the trumpet. And trust me, the Liberal going to come for you again. So, good to have you here. I hope everything going. We know this new assignment, taking care of school,
yeah.
Where you can stay home at the end of the day, people, where will they give it to you? So you gotta do a Google other than that. You say, okay, when you're ready, come back. But good to have you here. I'm quite sure despite that you've been busy, you're keeping one eye open, if possible, two on the political process in Liberia because you make a pick, you have a side, and it's good for the good of the country. Let's go into your playbook. What is the burning issue that this evening?
Well, I'm also, concerned about the the results as they are coming out. Um, I'm also concerned about some things that happened during the elections that I'm hoping that the would take notice of and kind of do some professional developments around them and get ready for whenever we have another elections, and to just say, commend the security forces in Liberia for maintaining the peace, but there were some lapses that they also need to take into account and kind of design some trainings around. But overall, I'm just here to talk about the round two of the elections, and it's been a long time I've been going. So I know my brother Mali been missing me. He won't put all the team make it for me. Won't dump everything one time. So, but it's nice. It's nice being back.
Okay, all right. I call it. We are happy to have you. For some reason, I don't know why the liberal, because maybe you move in his column. And okay, in fact, I'm going to call Sissy. The way you're treating me here, I said, when you and Sissy started being friendly, for which you want to make this overnight so-called friendship because of his political decision. Okay, so let's start here. It was Mali first unleashed here. Mali, uh,
Yeah.
let's have you here. Let's have you. So let's start with you. You started warning yesterday, and it seems to be this narrative is still being pushed. You're not satisfied. What are you not satisfied with these provisional results officially being announced by NEC? Where is your issue?
Well, my first of all, I want to take off my hat. I want to take my hat off to the Unity Party first. For the first round, I mean, they did extremely well, and they took the ruling party hair on, after staying in power for 6 years, and we thought it was just going to be, walk on, one round. That was the impression. But they kept the CDC at bay, and they did not fulfill that. And I think that was a good news. But again, coming to round two now, I'm more concerned about the margin. When I
Okay.
calculate, yes, when I calculated the result they just gave, the provisional result they just gave, I realized that the margin was about 5,779. It was kind of it's something that worried me, because if the election would be competitive and the margin depreciates, that's going to be a problem for the Unity Party. And I can also see this election finally leaning into the Supreme Court, into His Excellency President George Weah Supreme Court. And that even going to be a double problem, you see? So, but to conclude, I don't want to jump the gun now to pass a very hasty verdict here now. But the signs are not too comfortable for me, But we'll give a chance to see between now and next week, and let's see. But if the signs remain as they are, I'm wondering whether we will still keep putting bread into the microwave. I don't know, but I pray that there will be some changes. But the margin, it was very discouraging, and I hope it will improve. Because if for any reason, Unity Party happen to defeat George Weah, I expect a convincing margin of between 35 to 40,000 extra votes. And if for any reason Joe we are happy to beat the Unity Party, he must target 35 to 40,000 convincing vote. You see,
Okay.
to minimize to minimize the argument in the various cycle.
Okay. Hold on one second.
Yep.
They hold you digging here. I'm not going to go in there with you. You do your own hole, dig your own hole. If it is possible, we'll put you there. Okay, let's welcome Terry. Terry is a political commentator here on the Liberia Public Radio and share the political ideology of Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka. Mali here, he will be on your own the way I see this evening here with say John Kerry Swift book type of story he want to comment. Terry, good evening, welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. So. Good evening, Sese. Good evening to Mr. Mali.
Okay. Yes, sir, Mr. Collins.
So the guys did their two run through here. Before I go back to Sese, let me go into your playbook from Minnesota. The Samson Tose, Minnesota politician. So I don't know what are you going to find. Oh my goodness, what a night here this evening. The UPNs or UPs are coming. There seems to be excitement here. Please, when you get some of that joy, if a white man know you, know your friend black man. So Terry, what's in your bowl? Let me bring in I want to question on this now. Where Koto Jalabalayant is a strong supporter of the opposition to Unity Party. All of the UPens are smiling. Yeah, man, you get a reason to smile, you know. But Mali's trying to stir trouble. Good evening, welcome. So Terry, let's hear you. What's in your book this evening?
Yeah, well, you know, but are you saying, Mr. So, that we have won already? Did I hear you say that indirectly?
No. Absolutely.
Like Marvin coming from, I want to. You saw what I did on my phone last night.
Because I hear you say when a white man know you, you should know your friend black man. So
what I'm doing now, I'm putting you guys on record just in case in the event. I'm not saying
anyway, we got the subliminal message. But what I want to say is that what we want to say is that what I'm looking at actually is that the process seems to put the CDC in Celine Dion. Because to be honest with you, I think William Kettle by now will have been on the network. I'm supposed to be hearing the voice of Aaron now, calling in and all that. But we had an 8-hour program yesterday that was very tiresome. And surprisingly, none of the guys called in to say anything, to even give you feedback as regarding the base.
Pressure.
One of the legs of the Unity Party people that support Ambassador Boyka is appearing on your show. What's going on? That's my concern for now. You know, but like Sissy said, my senior brother Sissy, welcome back. We miss you a lot. You know, he hit some serious points concerning their, the friction that went on during the elections and the way the police were able to handle it. Some of them that did not go overboard. But something took my attention early this morning was the Yeke Koluba group that came to celebrate early before time.
Okay, not to interrupt you, we'll just get into your intro, your real catfish. Let me get to Koto. Koto, what is in your playbook? I want to go to Sissy. Sissy already compiled his thought to Unleash.
Hey, Sissy, welcome back. The man wearing his old bush. I sent the guy. Yeah. The guy was relaxing there. And job well done. Job well done.
All right.
Yeah, hi to the Liberian people. This is Koto Jarabarayan. I'm so glad to be in the midst of these guys. And I love being in your midst. And, you know, I had a piece of job to do. And once that job is done, that's it, man. I'm so much cheering. You know, Terry, I gave you hands up. And later on, Sissy that jumped behind us, you know, he knows what's right. And, you know, unlike some people that don't know what is good and what is right, they always behind the wrong thing. But we're always looking for the right thing. You know, no matter how long it takes, I can in my target, you know, and know where it is. And, you know, I'm not making muff. The thing about politics, you know, and I'm not boasting about it. At least I have a degree in it. I have master's degree in international relations, and which includes political science. I try to exhibit my education, you know, level you know, to apply it to the level where I understand it best. People don't know when they say philosophy. It is not what you go read about, you know, the philosopher, the list of, you know, them and come follow their steps. It's about you creating your own philosophy that tomorrow people will follow you.
They
And I
result
thought, let me
bringing
be
out of
honest with you
Jolo.
guys. I thought I created my own philosophy this time around. I saw many people were in the English setting. What did I do? I went straight. I had a target group, which were the Loma people. This time around, that was my aim, my main aim. You can see where the vote came from. Since they can bear with me, the whole Loma belt, we had the highest vote in Lofa.
Okay.
That was my target, and I'm successful. You know, people were laughing at me. I didn't really know the Loma vernacular, but I started fighting it because I had a target. You know, and that was my target. I hit my target. That's my philosophy. You know, and I think I'm going to grow on it. I've been looking for the Loma book. Can you imagine? People have eaten money from me for the Loma book, but I think, you know, I appreciate the Loma people, and sometimes I wasn't new, but at least they know me now. And they can say, oh, that from Majala Dora here. Oh, that from Majala Dora. They listen to the from Majala Dora, you know. That's one of my happiness today. And I think even if Barca did not win, I would be, you know, so happy the fact that we have input to make, you know, about our country and this, you know, right
Okay.
now for me, you know,
Hold your breath right there. Let me go to Sisse. Sisse Goya, good to have you here. Everybody seems to be making good friends with you, people that had this political divide. They say you make a wrong choice and it's good you come home. I don't know what's the interpretation for that, but I'm not going to stay out any trouble here this evening. Yeah, so let me just bring you in here. You already gave your allowance or so. Maybe there are other pieces like that. What is in your playbook? When you make up the process. Being away does not mean you are in isolation. I know you are following every bit and step of the process, and you are quick to point out something. We'll hear from you in details.
Well, Koto Benito Loma book, Dr. Sakwi Malakpa is a professor of education at the Ohio State University. The Wozi Toto, he still has the Loma book. He still writes the Loma book, so I can put you in touch with him. He's right here in Ohio.
Yeah, I see once when you told me that.
Yeah, I can connect you with Dr. Malakpa. But look, I was absent from this platform. It was a strategic reason. Yes, I was busy, but it was strategic because I felt like we had come down to two candidates, and Liberians had a choice to make. And you campaign at different levels for different stages. And this campaign for round 2, I didn't want to be on the platform and somehow muddy the platform. And so I had to get out. But I had not been in isolation, like you said. I'm actually deeply involved with the number system right now, the data system. So you see me smiling. I am relaxed. I will drink water and relax myself because what we are seeing is exciting. But I'm not going to come on this platform and talk about anything that is not in the public because that's not what we do on LPR. We come here at LPR, we discuss what data has been put out there by NEC. That has been our process here. So regardless of what I think I know in the back, I will not bring it on here. And like Koto said, I actually did a bunch of video in Loma. We were sending it out to Lofa County. We were out. We were offering our support in the back because we realized that the Unity Party has some limitations coming from round 1 going to round 2 that we felt that we could help them out. And so we have been offering our helps. That is all I'm going to say. But look, Mr. Mali. Data. 1 point is not a trend in data. NEC just released 1 point. We cannot prognosticate anything from there. We cannot glean anything from there to say, that the margin right now is worrisome. No, it shouldn't be, because the way NEC is releasing these things, they're releasing them according to by counties. We're not even looking right now at polling stations and other places to find out and start doing comparative analysis from round 1 to round 2, which polling stations were strongholds of the CDC, and how did those numbers go up or down, which polling stations were strongholds of the Unity Party, and whether they went up or down. Those are analyses we're willing to make. But I think once NEC released their data, that would be a good analysis to make. But for me, right now, about 20% of the votes being out, if I weren't preview to anything, I wouldn't be having any issue, right? All I can tell Liberian people is that tomorrow, CDC will go up. On Thursday, Unity Party will go up. You know when I'm waiting to really listen for this whole thing to settle down from NEC? It's Saturday. So because they will do this thing where they're bouncing the ball. I guarantee you tomorrow, a CDC is going to go up. And then you're going to have Facebook is going to be blue. Everybody who don't understand the metric statistics are going to be out there, putting out all their tabata out there. And then for some of us who have been blessed to understand this, we'll just be sitting there watching and laughing and saying the data is not all out yet. And we're not going to look at that. And for so we were getting to that. But for me, I want to say I was worried that there was going to be wanton violence, because going into round 2, the drumbeat of violence, the feigning of the violence was getting higher and higher, and the drumbeats were getting louder and louder. I was really worried. I was worried that there were going to be some polling stations that were going to be just completely shut down or even burned down. And the night before elections, actually, even just added to that, because like District 8, for example, I was watching when the citizens decided that they weren't going to allow the ballot bag to be deployed, and so NEC officials had to go and retrieve the ballot box to try to deploy it the next morning. And we're hearing stories about that in many other places. And there were in some places where citizens, I think, had blocked a security car that they said, come to pick up ballot boxes and take them. Those were dicey situations. Those were things that would have blown out of proportion. And I heard my own brother Yeke Koliba saying that he was on a parade and he was being harassed by security guards. And then right after election, the CDC came out for pre-victory rally. And then today, Yeke Koliba and the Unity Party Alliance came out. So for me, I want to give a huge shout out to the Liberian National Police, the Armed Forces of Liberia, the immigration, the Joint Security Forces. Yes, there are some mistakes that they made along the way, but on the overall, I am really excited that we didn't have a huge loss of life due to electoral violence. So I want to give that out. I want to be very intentional about that, because if they had made mistakes and people had died, I was going to be on here calling them so many names and saying they were not capable. So I want to put that out in the space and say, yes, there are some things they need to learn, but on the overall, I am excited about the work that the Joint Security did. And until now, we don't have a massive report of violence or police violence against citizens.
Okay, so quickly here, can you adjust your stuff? Because if I take it, no, not you. Is it possible to adjust to elevate your camera that way? It will come down to just how is it possible? I don't know, to assistant. Let me just put in the backstage and you
get
can
a
fix
blue
it.
plastic bed down there with all the votes in there. We won't show it.
So let me just put in the back and make the adjustment to elevate your camera that way. If you can try it, just elevate the camera. Okay, to push yourself up. I think that should be fine.
Koto and Terry get a blue plastic bed. So when they sit down, they can't show way down, because we want you to see the blue plastic. Those.
So quickly here, if you want to tell me.
Now, what tally she is? You can see.
Are you one of those contractors to get this whole thing? You were remotely working from Minnesota in the war room in Liberia. Was that the case? Were you just telling us, Sissy?
But all I said was I was helping out in my capacity as a mathematician. I didn't say I was in any war room or in war piazza.
Okay. Let me be the Koluba. Let me be the Koluba. Take it back. So, what specifically you were doing? I'm just curious, because I've been wondering, thinking that because going for workshop, training, and stuff, DC. It looked like you had a laptop at the same time in the air you were working. Terry knew about it, Carter knew about it, the Liberal knew about it. It is only Mali.
No, Mali knew about it. Me and Mali, we kept talking. Mali and myself caught a video to send it to Lofa Kante. Remember, so we want to know.
Oh, Mali.
Oh, so
Then when
Mr.
you
Marlon
can't
is
hear,
betraying the neutrality,
yeah. So then when you can't hear, you are okay. All right. Thank you so much. So, in essence, we say, and I think you're quite correct because the tension with respect to the process, how you're going to, how was, I too. I mean, we saw how it started the night before. Citizen things that were happening to the tensions and all of that. I was wondering, but I think for now, so is it fair to say that we give the joint security quotas, making sure because they were really, really busy. I mean, here election always tension packed. Okay, guys, let's get to the issue right now. So I'm wondering the actions or the work of Minister Senator-elect Amara Collins seems to breach through the work of the National Election Commission. Is this intentional to put them on edge? Do they really have that knowledge? Now you say somebody are having the feedback. Okay. We saw in the first phase that other war room that came, I think our breakage room, that was not correct war room, where they say they had the numbers. Nothing was illustrated. We didn't see anything. Yeah, I don't know who put that one there, but and I said that here, Terry, I think a year, the bringing in of Amara Conant, because remember, that's the guy Helen Johnson Sally brought in. He's a close friend, so one of the sons in that hero. But he's bringing it into the campaign, not just only the war room, but it kind of restructured the tone of the Unity Party. Because when he made that endorsement, when I listened to that speech, and when even he appeared on Spoon Network, he was not like these ordinary people. He gives reasons specifically why he was supporting and things that touching as a librarian for which he was giving his support to Ambassador Joseph Nwabaka. He outlined, he details. That really put Unity Party into a very good shape, that I can say. So with this 22% out there, and I agree, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen tomorrow, Friday. Ultimately, we will get to know how this whole process is going. This 22% here. Let's talk about these jubilations and celebratory move by all of the parties, which was first initiated by CDC. I don't know why. I'm not sure whether the election commission they asked that question today. But you've been involved in campaign here. With this here, what does it project? Why is it portraying out there when these final results are announced, saying the both sides, everybody claiming victory here? Is that making the job difficult or what?
In Liberia, oh hell no! In Liberia, no. that is what people look forward to, isn't it? Right after election, even the people that got 2% can start claiming they won. That is the point. And if they don't win, they say they were cheated. Right? It's never let's go back in, let's process what went wrong and let's learn from it. But it's either we start to claim victory right away. Because for them, for the political mindset in Liberia is that you claim victory sooner and you hope your narrative hold, and then somehow your narrative would drive the data. And I think that is why even when I watched there was a little mini stuff that was held at Yeke Koluba's residence yesterday that they actually said they were going to be out today. They were going to be out celebrating too because they are seeing the CDC out. And somehow it's almost like in Liberia, oh, the other people celebrating, you're not celebrating, that means you're finally losing, right? And so it is this somehow inside out way of thinking. But that is how Liberian politics has been for a long time. Now, here is the problem I have. All of these political parties, let's even go to the two, CDC and the Unity Party. They all have tally sheets, copy of tally sheets. Because it's not like round one where they were only giving it, I think, to the first three, right? And so if you didn't come in the top three, you didn't get it. And so you would be like, oh, I don't know what I got in that place. But in the second round, they all got tally sheets. The very tally sheets that they all signed to that were stamped and that we are hoping is what are going to be, those are the same numbers that are going to be announced by NEC. Those are the same data that were posted on the wall to those polling places. And so if it is not for people just trying to be, I don't want to say this word, but just trying to be crooked, right? And just not straight with the Liberian people. Political parties should know by basic arithmetic. I say math, I say arithmetic. Whether you want or not at this stage, right? But we don't have that political maturity. We don't have that political strictness in our country, and that is why, love him or hate him, push back or however, I think Amara Kone has changed the game, and he's put his neck on the line. And the reason I say that is this: when DeLong had the blue plastic bag, nobody could see the blue plastic bag, right? When Akaras Grading announced that Thomas Fala was senator from Osirado County, they couldn't show us anything. They kept reading data from so many public schools. The other one happened. Since Kizito public school, they weren't happy. The other one happened. They kept saying stuff without giving us anything. Amara Kone is actually putting the data out there. He's clicking on it and showing us what he has. So now we can look at it and actually look at NEC and see if Amara Kone or the United Party made up something. If they fake anything, if it doesn't coincide with what NEC has, it doesn't validate what NEC has, right? Now we have a way to hold them accountable. And that's why I say he changed the game by putting that out there, because now it's no more about plausible deniability to say, oh, I had in my plastic bag. You didn't see why I had in my plastic bag. But now you put it out and we're looking at it. So I think for a learned guy like Amara Kone, I don't think he would take that lightly. I don't think he would go out and like that lightly, and because we're always chopping, right? Because when the data come out wrong, we chop that and then because we'll be out there for a long time. And so my only thing I have to say is that, we are the various political parties. It happens here in America after elections. Political parties already, we will know how the trends are going. And we already know where we're going to be losing and where we're going to be winning. And so we don't put people out in the street, but that's different. In Liberia, I guess you put people out in the street. The only thing I would say to my people that are being asked to go out in the streets is elections are over. We are now just waiting for results to be announced. You shouldn't be losing your lives over waiting for an announcement to be made. You've done the hard part already. You've done the hardest part. You stood in line, you voted, and now is the time for all of us to watch NEC, and we hope NEC will continue to be credible and release the data. But just note that this is statistics, right? You're collecting data, you're releasing data. The numbers are going to fluctuate. They're going to be going up and down, up and down, up and down. Like I said, tomorrow, CDC will be up. That doesn't mean they've won the election. And the next day, they might end up being tied. But I'm waiting for a Saturday. That is when the dust will settle. When my message today, that will be on Saturday, they will know.
Okay, so Tara, let me just bring you into this prize here. And I kind of agree, because these people, they have all of these parties, they were there. Unity Party said they deployed over 14,000 or whatever people, be it pool washers, security, or whatever people to protect their votes. I assume, I've not talked to anybody to confirm they were the CDC. I'm quite sure they were also fully represented. So this sort of tapa that'll be going on Facebook, people writing their own thing, tweeting to whatever way they want to satisfy their own political curiosity is there. Terry, is it true that these people, or maybe in every society, in every group, they are insider? Is it fair to say they are real insider, be it within the CDC or Unity Party, they know exactly the end result of this year? Is this something you think they know? Or they're just still holding their breath?
Well, Mr. So, I want to believe that everybody know where they stand right now. All the insiders of the Unity Party and the CDC, they all know exactly where they stand right now. Like what Mr. Sisse said.
Okay,
it's obvious.
1 second, let me hold you. It's about to get interesting. A little more insight going to be adding up into this conversation here again tonight. Let me just bring him in. I intend not to call his name. I don't want to make no confusion here tonight. I didn't even go to work today because he made me talk and talk until I had a severe headache. So I'm not going to call his name. Eli, he can do whatever you want to do here tonight. I'm not going to say anything. Terry, go ahead.
Yeah, so obviously, like,
My friend, good evening, welcome.
Like what Stacey said, obviously, to be honest with you, Amara Kone was the last minute resurrection for the Unity Party. I don't know if God sent him directly to Unity Party, or because, to be honest with you, we were on life support. Henry Costa, that bombshell, that boy, we were already on life support until he resuscitated the base. And what he's doing now is beyond. You can't question it easily unless you're somebody who knows numbers, like our big brother Sissy. These are the only kind of people that can question what Amara Konen is projecting, because the guy is very splendid. I was expecting to already see the CDC with all the money they got, and the Samuel Tuer, the likes of Samuel Tuer, who will also be doing likewise, because they are the ruling party, projecting to their followers what exactly the results looks like in their favor. But unfortunately, that is not so. The party you claim don't have money is doing that, but you are celebrating that you have won. How sure are we you have won? And most of the people who posting these things on Facebook, they can only say, President, we are with Lekki. President, they don't give you numbers. They don't give you data. They don't show you anything. They just say, oh, President, we are, like, right after the police station closed yesterday, there were seditions that were saying, President, we are, I think I saw a post of Costa who say 54 point something %. President, we are going to win 54%. How you got to know? How you got to know? And I did not really expect that from him, because I know Costa is an intelligent guy. You understand what I'm saying? At least he will wait for 1 or 2 days, even though he will announce preliminary results, but he will wait for 1 or 2 days to make his projection. But to just come out like that, I think something is going on. So in my opinion, everybody is aware, because Mr. So you must also take into consideration that everybody have received the tally sheets. Those polling precincts were closed. So all the pool washers, they already have the tally sheets in the length and breadth of the entire country. So if political parties are telling you that they have 95%, 85% of all the tallies reported, you have to believe it, because they're not going to be living in a polling precinct. All the pool washers have already received the tally sheets and they have left. The only thing they left to do is to corroborate it, take pictures of it, and send it to the war room. I guess that is what they're doing. That is why Amara Kone is able to deliver the information he's delivering. So in my opinion, everybody is aware.
Everybody is aware. Holding everybody, I am not aware, so I'm not part of that everybody. So, Koto, let me just bring you in. The Liberal Progressive, good evening. So, welcome. I love your African.
Good evening, Mr. So. We're winning. We're winning.
This guy is starting again this evening. This guy is starting.
Oh my God.
This guy position. Okay, let me just bring you in.
I don't know why this thing is bothering me today.
That me again or the Mali Jones?
That's you guys, man. You and Mali.
Okay, let me just bring you in here. Now the question becomes: I do not know. I do not have access. Yes, reporters, these NEC tally sheet, carbon sheet, coming to all. How can these things be validated? It is in their hand. They were there. They checked. They did everything. Next is the other party. The decider, the principal decider, is the National Election Commission. Obviously, our people, CDC will want to claim victory, Unity Party want to claim victory. Ultimately, the principal decider will be the NEC at the end of the day. We don't know. Ordinary Liberians on air.
Did I get you to say our people want to claim victory?
Something.
No, I just want you to clarify something, because I think I heard you say our people want to claim victory.
Okay, I am not. I don't know where you come from.
Okay. Maybe my younger ear is giving me a problem. Go ahead, please.
Oh God, I don't know. Yeah. So, Kodo, back to you. How can we? Do you think all of these parties? Do you think they will come out honestly, regardless of the reactions of their people, even if they lose it, to say yes, this is what happened? Would that happen? Considering why it's unfolding?
Thank you, Mr. So, and thank you, welcome, Mr. To.
Thank you.
You know, we all have been once student, and I think some of us are still student. If you see or if you saw somebody and was in school and you're asking them, are you passing or are you graduating? They tell you, I don't know. It means that they did not perform well, so they don't know that they are passing. Because I know when we're in school, when you see a papa asking you, are you sure you passing? Then you scratching your hair. Papa, I'm sure, or ma, I'm sure. It means that your performance was not that good. But if I have all of my grade sheet, my exam, my my every sheet, and they're talking about school closing, I'm practically sitting well and just waiting for the school to just say, okay, this is closing day. You are part of the passing student. Maybe the only thing I will just be waiting for is my average, to calculate my average. And even with that, if I have my pass grades, I can calculate my average. The SSA is a teacher. We all know that. With the situation now, I see my other people in. I know these people. When it came to other elections, you know where they were. They were politically seated. They were celebrating the day of the election. By then, they would have had like everything in. I know they used to work with this boy, Alex Williams. And Alex Williams used to work in their workroom. But now they see Alex Williams, man, they attempted to kill Alex Brain away from Liberia. Now that's one of their guys, that good guy they lost during this election. So you see they are there. You see Costa, you see this guy Senvi, and the guys who get left right here hungry, going back to Liberia, thinking that they're going to make some money to come back. They're in their war room, they call it, or the situation room. They all phone. If you watch it, they're all on the phone. I don't know that the phone communicating to them. I thought they would have been producing data and analyzing the data, giving the assurance to their citizens or their supporters, but that was not the case. So you see, like frustrated group of people, they're trying to console themselves. And if I thought that I did something, wrong, and I already made myself feel, but I would look for a way to console myself. And I understand the state they're in, but we are here to console them. They are not left alone. The Unity Party government is not going to exclude them. Like I said last night, we are including them. Even those that did not make any effort to go to school or to do other things, we are trying to make everything possible to see, not 100%, even it might not even be 75%, but to some level, we will, and useful in our society. Not going to just tell you, say, go and sit there. We saw during the early regime, I didn't work with the government, but we saw they were using these guys, these Zogos, and even those that were in schools. They were the one that were using to clean the streets. That's how you saw the streets were clean. If you didn't have the means of going to school, there are ways you can be incorporated in a society that you can be self-supporting.
Okay.
These are the Unity Party thinking on to do, with our people. So if you saw somehow like holding our veins and things, stressing ourselves out, that is the government we want to come in. And with some of us not being in the government, we still have people that we can talk to, that things can be done to help our people. Because that's what
all right. So, okay. If we if we can keep it as brief as possible, so we want to get some reaction from the people here. But before I go, I don't know whether I should go to the liberal progressive now, but I've heard
You got
from
no choice. The liberal will interject. So just come to me and keep the peace.
Okay, let me do it. I say right now, I'm not going to get into. I don't want to the headache. I don't want to kind of reawaken it. So liberal, let me just come. Let me just come to you. The first batch came out today, 22%. I see the smiles in the face of Sissy. Amarat, he did a professional work. He did not call anything he didn't know. He knows what within. Terry, Cotto, everybody here. Elola Mali and myself, we're gonna be on our own. I wouldn't be surprised if
But
on
Mr. Mali have betrayed the neutrality to neutrality group. He have betrayed.
Yeah, I
He
know
just
he let
depended.
the man did some Loma video and sent it. That was good. They said, just send me the video.
So,
I can't believe. Yeah.
Mr.
The
So,
man leave there.
let me take two items on at once. The first one will be the American involvement in this election. As Terry said, was very late, but I think what he has done, not only as he also stated, not only has he elevated on an intellectual level, performance of numbers with respect to election. If the young people in Liberia, those who are not into this sour business and serious about the future of Liberia, they will pay attention to what Amara Conan explained today.
Exactly.
Another interesting thing Amara Conan has done, his numbers, and if they are accepted by Unity Party, those information that he had and his people, if they are accepted by Unity Party, the National Election Commission down completely. Because if any of those tally sheets, information that Amara Conan and his people have, and they can show to the international community how those information were obtained, not by fraudulent means, but by through statistic and other technical means that can be proven. I call it National Election Commission going to have to follow the law and the process that they themselves put in place. Because I believe Amara Conan and his people were operating within that parameters that the NEC itself set up. So if they go beyond that or go outside of it, they will get called to book. And that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Mr. So, you know, these elections, for me, yeah, sometimes I come here, I put fun up there and dance and what have you, but they are very interesting. For me, not for me specifically, this is the type of thing that should have happened back in 1985 when I was still in my prime, maybe 83 or something like that. But at this time, I'm just hanging with you guys. When we left from here last night, in less than 2 minutes, I was gone. So I'm just hanging with you guys, to be honest with you. But this election, if you are a Liberian, a young Liberian, that have the opportunity to travel outside of Liberia and have the opportunity to educate yourself, these are hallmark of something that you can hold on and say, yes, the future of Liberia is ahead. To see people that are coming from a civil war, and the civil war inside of us is still fighting. We have not yet been healed completely. People, even look at the video, and I'm just using it as an example. Don't come back to attack me, but you have the right to do whatever you want to do anyway. But you look at the video from Grand Jide County, where young people were saying that these people, if they come here, their casket will be sent back to Monrovia. These are Liberians that are traveling in the border of Liberia, and you're going to threaten somebody. That means your future, as far as this election is concerned, you don't count it. You have no respect for it. Those who have respect for the future, the young people, are going to listen to these people and then say this election means a lot. We're just coming from a civil war, as I stated, and yet still people passing by each other in the street, recognizing people who did some bad things to them or their family, yet still they pass by each other. And then this election, they go to the poll. The first round, a huge number. The second round, the third round was poor. Nevertheless, people decided to exercise their right. I think the future of Liberia is way ahead of us, and I'm very proud of it. Now, before I close, Mr. So, I hope not just CDC, but Unity Party as well. If this election goes sour on us, we should be man enough to accept the result and help to build Liberia. If sedition, if the thing goes sour on them, they should also be man enough, accept the result, and let us all put together and build Liberia. We can hold Ambassador Bakai's words to his feet, the feet to the fire, when he stated that all hands on deck. And I believe he will exercise that, Mr. So. I'm not here tonight to fight. I'm here tonight to impact and to express my knowledge of the knowledge that I got. Let me speak the crown in the plenty knowledge that I got. I here to express it tonight peacefully.
Okay, so let me bring in Marley Jones. The four on the far right facing my screen seems to be in a call. Perhaps there was a meeting held outside of this conference, and they seem to be in the call. And I like your last statement. If anybody tell, like we were saying, you see, this is where the political tolerance is lacking. You know, the other people, the leaders themselves, is lacking. They exhibit it, they showcase it. And that's exactly the other people are doing. For people to say those kind of things that, in fact, this other person don't come on the side to campaign. When you come here, we do this. Come on. Politics is not for toddlers. If you're wearing diapers, don't get involved in politics because, I mean, it's a tough game. And there are two scenarios involved. You either win it or you lose it. You will be, you know, name calling is going to come in. So whatever group did that is ridiculous. And they need to stop that. And the people, they should call them out. We cannot continue to allow these things in civilized society. How do they want this civilization to even come to Liberia? When I say I am not supporting somebody, and then somebody say, no, you have to support this person. You don't want to respect my civil liberties. If this other person with this other group, he say, no, why are you with this group? Because they are so. I think we must find a way where people can be convinced if they are making wrong decision to engage them. But that's a different thing here. So before I go to Marley Jones, for you're being on your tabata here this evening, let me come to Marley here. But Marley said I can't even trust him because I already have his video on here as well. That's the whole thing. So, gentlemen, lady, from what I see, the work of Amara Conant of the United Party, which he showcased today, seems to be something that satisfies the base of the United Party or in agreement with it. Is that what I'm hearing from you, or is that's the wind blowing within the rank and file of United Party? If so, like Samson Talk said, down the road, anything can happen. We do not have all of these records. They do. If that also change, would they still give praises or glorify or the work Amara Conant did? Will it not be kicked down the road to say, oh no, that's this one here? Would that not happen?
Well,
Are you talking,
first
are you
thing,
talking to me?
is it
I was,
Mali?
no,
Yeah,
I,
Mr. Malik.
I want to just come to that here
So
because
first thing, let me clarify
Oh,
something.
I said that.
I'm not a United Partisan. I never have been. I am a liberal. I'm a member of the Liberal People's Party. I supported Joseph Boakai and the rescue team in the round two. Now, having said that, the reason I'm excited about what Amara Conant is doing, not because it's projecting a winner. I'm interested in it from an intellectual point, where, like the liberals say, folks can actually look at this, and if there are mistakes in there along the way, statistician can use that at University of Alberta, look at what went wrong, what were the mistakes, and you can use that in a statistics class. For me, the difference between what Amara Conant is doing and what some people try to do on another network that went dead is sharpening the difference between intellectuals and intellectuals. Intellectuals come out and do the kind of work that Amara Conant did. Intellectuals,
They all
you don't have the data to run away.
okay, so all right. So Marley Jones, John, let me bring you in here.
Some lecture.
You started with your talking point. This is just 22% here. We're going to shift the conversation where we're going to be the focus point, where we're going to see the possibilities and non-possibilities into this whole process here. And we've got to be realistic. And this is why we can't call anything, even we have it, we'll give you a conversation. It is the election commission that has the authority to call. Yesterday, you blow this horn here, and it seems to be repeating itself here. Unveil your package here that we do not know what is in that package. You said a Unity Party is not doing enough. The win is not big. Do you still stand by those words?
Well, first of all, I think there's a huge outpouring of political wisdom tonight on this platform. And, giving the change, giving the current trajectory in the political results, this is not surprising. However, I want to say emphatically here that Amara effort today, I see it to be a very serious gross disservice to the Unity Party and the Unity partisans. I thought by this time we'll be keeping our political cards to our chest and waiting for the appropriate time. But the presentation Amaracona was making today, he's beating up high hopes. And that can be very, very devastating. Because sometimes political happiness, early political happiness can result into early political tears. So what I thought the Honorable Amaracona would have done today, maybe get into other different analysis about what they have done for which they think they will be winning, and keep that card that he was exhibiting today to his chest and wait for the appropriate time. And so I want to give credit to the CDC who had not come up to exhibit or display what Amaracona has done. I think per political maturity, keeping your card to your chest, it would have been the best thing, because raising the people hope, sometimes it can be dangerous. You see, while it's true that I must commend him for his intellectual exposure he did today, but the timing was wrong. He should have kept that thing to him just in case things go wrong. You have a lot to show before judges or whatsoever it is. That one. Two, I still believe that it's too early in the first place for celebration. Yes, it's too early. I am focusing on two things in this election. One, I am focusing on the margin. It is the margin that really matters in this election. Because like Cece said, yes, Unity Party went up today. Tomorrow, CDC will go up. That's how the election will continue to come until finally we get the results. You see. So I will want to advise the diehard of the Unity Party to talk to their political experts to hold their card to their chest as CDC is doing. I see it as political maturity until at the appropriate time.
Let me go further before I go back to the other rest of the analysis. Is there something specific that was lacking into Amara's analysis? Perhaps do you want him to be more definitive in his work today, or what?
Yes, I expected Amaracona to play around what I call political projection. This is what we did in the southeastern counties. I project that this might be the outcome as compared to first round. These are the kind of analysis I expected Amaracona to move through. I cannot tell him what to do. But coming to tell us about, like, for instance, we don't have two election commissioners, two election commission in Liberia. We have one. Okay? They are close with the authority to tell us the final vote. So if Amaracona is making a case already that they have under their belt their share of these material, and based on that, there is a good news for me. If I were in the Unity Party, I would not advise for such statement to be made.
So So then how do you reconcile? I want to go to the other folks to contribute. How do you reconcile when you just alluded that there's one institution that is responsible to announce these results and these official results, which he has not done? He's making the argument why he has in his position and still holding to the real answer that I do not know, you do not know, to his chest, and maybe some of the top insider within the Unity Party. So how can we putting on the squad with that?
No, I hope you are listening to me and listening to me keenly, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, let's
I
go one
said
more time.
we have one election commission in Liberia, and that's NEC. The analysis Amara Kone was making today based on what he has in his possession, for me, he shouldn't have talked about it. Because what he's doing now, he's making a case or building a case for the future. All right? So just in case there's some inconsistency,
which future?
It becomes a problem.
Is he?
I come in now, give me a chance.
Yeah, no, I come in. I just want you to put eyes on everything.
Let him break your own neck.
Is he creating a political tension? Is that how it's being perceived or what?
I say he's making a case for future. And the case he's making is not in the interest of the Unity Party. So what he need to do now, keep it to himself. There are so many analyses Amara Kone who are brought up today. I just gave you a scenario about
which
what
future, okay, which future are you referring to? The future or before the end of this election or subsequent election 2029? Which one are you referring to?
We are talking about what is current. We're not talking about 2029.
Okay.
We're talking about what is current.
Future is relative. I don't know. I'm not a soothsayer to go in your mind.
I said the future of this election. Mr. So, did you understand me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I don't want to play a video, so take it easy with me here this evening.
Oh, okay.
Okay, gentlemen, that's the beauty of this network here. The voices sometimes become extremes and indifferent. The diversities of politics is quite interesting. Something too. Are you having a headache from Malice Jones analysis?
To debunk all of his tabata he's talking over. You know, I come to come sit down here and let Mali run all over. No, but I'm not surprised. This is a same man who was so anxious to bring back capital punishment in Liberia. This is the same man who believed in his subjective ideas as well of trying to
personal politics.
Mali, are you serious? You just broke your own neck, my brother. First, you said Amara Kone business and whatever he did today was not helpful to Unity Party. On the other hand, you're saying that yes, he's building a case for the future. Then what? The issue here, Mali, is for you to understand, and let me disabuse you a little bit, and perhaps bring you on board in terms of liberal ideas and what they do for people. Let me tell you this. What Amara Kone did today, it is, first of all, we're not asking for your opinion as to whether we Unity Party, we like it or we don't like it. That's your business. But let me go into the intellectual level with you. What Amara Kone did today, by he laying out these things, to say this is the area that we are operating that was set up by NEC. These are the perimeters that next said they're going to operate, and we're operating in that same level. So if we come out with 10 numbers in that same perimeter of ID, doing addition, subtraction, division, whatever it is, the end result we got is 10. And NEC comes out and said, no, we got 11. Amara Kone is telling the Liberian people today, we're not asking them to match our number. But then the Liberian will say, how did you get there? These are the evidence we have. Right. I told you already, what Amara Kone have done, whatever process he did, he went through. That process, if he haven't, and like you correctly stated, building a case, should in case something else happen, we hope not. Amara Kone and his people, Unity Party will say, these are our results. This is how we got this result. You're talking about CDC hiding, they ain't got nothing. CDC got foot in your mouth. What they got to put out? Nothing. They got nothing to bring up for you to even analyze on. and you say you're gonna be happy because you got nothing for somebody for you to analyze on it. Malice, we are an intellectual platform. CDC should put us something that at least we can compare. And since they got nothing, and you're gonna be happy because you got nothing to analyze, please,
Okay.
let's take it to the next level. Please. You see, when Mali was throwing you words around, getting you confused, you have him on, asking you questions. I'm being very straight with you, and you understand my language. Now you're getting ready to kick me out. Go ahead. I rest my case.
Something up to you. I'm not in no fight with you here tonight. Please, I beg you. Sese,
Yeah.
Let's create a cutting edge here. You know, views are always, opinions are always welcome here. That's Malice on the version. That is understanding. How can this code be settled? Should CDC come back and also do theirs or validate what was projected, what was put out there to by NEC? How do we validate by VC? I haven't seen anything. Maybe if it is out there, I haven't seen any side to say, okay, what, and perhaps that will not happen until at the end of this result here. So, what is the missing point here, based on Mali's analysis?
Well, there are a few things. Number one, for Mr. Mali to say the CDC has not put up any data, I guess maybe he's not following. Sekou Kalasco had a pie chart between the children doing third grade. He had a pie chart, it's even color in. And then he has numbers on the side, and the numbers don't even match what's in the pie chart. And they're making analysis and projection from there. So it's happening from the level of Sekou Kalasco. It's been out there. People have shared that with me. They're sending it in my inboxes everywhere. Okay. Now, Amara Kone actually said that it was intentional that they're releasing data ahead of NEC because they want to be in front of NEC. They're using it as a counterweight. And tomorrow, according to him, he said tomorrow he's going to spend his time looking at the 20% that NEC put out and comparing that with what they have. So there's going to be some comparative analysis going on. But beyond that, Amara Kone is putting out his evidence to the public.
Right.
This is evidence that's available to all of the political parties that participated. So I'm confused. I don't know if my brother's complaint against Amara Kone is on the issue of strategy and not releasing it, or that Amara Kone, there's only one electoral body in Liberia. Amara Kone is not a member of NEC. Because what Amara Kone continued to say was that these were not official announcements. Right. He said these were projections. And anybody with the data has the right to project based on the data. My brother is telling us that Amara Kone should have come and say, what happened in the Southeast, we expect to increase in the Southeast. If Amara Kone came out and said that without any data, I would be number one on this platform telling him he should go sit down and carry a degree back. Because upon what data will you be using to make that projection? There has to be a data that you use to make that projection. So he was still going to be using the exact same data to project that they will do well or do worse in the Southeast. Well, then why not just release it? And this is not a secret data, by the way. These are things that were posted on the walls of these polling places, right? So Amara Kone is only using what is in the public domain, what NEC allowed by law to be out there, and he's using it. So for me, I think we can have the argument about if there are mistakes, if there are errors in his statistical analysis, if the way they gather the data, if it was wrong, we can have that conversation 100%. But to say that giving people information and giving them a way to check NEC, especially given that after round one, there were complaints of foul play. People said they were cheated. The CPP still complains about that they were cheated. People still complain that their votes went to Appleton. We all complain about 100,000 invalid votes. And so now that we have this data out, the public can be able to look at it. So if, God forbid, Joseph Yamabaga can say, they cheated me, we say, but yeah, the data, all the thing, we're looking at all these things, they are stamped by NEC, These are official NEC documents. We're looking at them. We all can do one analysis and come out and say, "No, Papa, go sit down and put BU," or "No, Papa, you ready? You got a place." The same way with President we are. We can say, "Oh no, you're losing or you're winning." But I think what Americana has done, and I want to highlight, is he's managed to take away this buffoonery that is being used, that has kind of permeated statistics in Liberia, where anybody could sit down on any radio station, and I'm talking about the likes of a former representative that will yell and say, "Thomas Falafini winning election," when he knows that he didn't have the data, and there was no way we could check those people. And people came out in the street celebrating Senator Thomas Fala, except now he represented Infoya. Right, and the people came out celebrating a Senator Paulita Wee, well, before she lost the wig. But people were saying this announcement and they were just making fun of our data. I think Americana has reached. I've elevated again. I don't care for me whether his data leads to UP winning or UP losing. As a math person, I think this is a place that a lot of people can learn from. This is a place that a lot of young people in Liberia who are interested in data and data science can learn a lot of things from what happened and what the data that Americana put out there. But I don't see.
Hopefully, we shouldn't crucify our guy here this evening, because Terry, the way you're laying back, I'm afraid when I bring you, you're going to add up to the flame by delivery here. But let me just bring you in yet, and from the quarter, we're going to pivot here and look at some of these numbers. As usual, we'll throw the number out as well to allow our viewers, our audience to participate, to get their side, their versions, and also be part of the process. So the work of Amara's comment today seems to be welcoming for now. Is that fair to say?
Certainly, Mr. So what Amara Corner have done have laid to rest, like my big brother say buffoonery. And also, do you not notice that social media is quiet? You don't notice that? You know, so because what is being done here is professional at a level where everybody can see it. You know, this guy took, I think, about 15 minutes to let everybody know the full analysis of the total votes that was collected, about 95%. So both the CDC and the Unity Party is being helped here. I don't know if the Seditians are seeing that, you know. So, and also we got to understand that he is dispelling the theory that was in the mindset of the Unity Party's people that there was a cheating in the Southeast. I also see what Amara Corner is doing is that he's dispelling that theory as well. That people in the first one said that, "Oh, President, we didn't really get the votes." Also, what I'm also noticing is that he's also revealing and unraveling before our very eyes what Unity Party could not do, that left her partisans feeling that they were cheated. Everyone of us felt that Ambassador Boka won the first round with a very huge margin, even though our senator had a black plastic bag with a tally sheet that he could not read. Are you understanding me? But there was a mindset that they projected to us that, oh, the Papa won the election. So Amara Corner now have come to dispel all those theories that, hey, this is it. And what I'm seeing a similar trend of October 10 elections. I'm seeing similar trend both in Nima County, in Lofa County, and in the Southeast. So there's a possibility that all the cheating thing that we've been having is not, it might happen small, but it's not as a huge scale. So I think this guy is doing something that is bringing help to everybody. And maybe it is not familiar in our system, but I want to say to my to my papi, Mr. Mali, that we need to employ this process. All right. And from this process, we can also learn. And anything that is not illegal, I don't think Americana is doing anything illegal. So if it's not illegal, then I don't think we should have a problem with it. It's not against the law.
You're talking about, yeah, no guy, they say, Papi, they say, take off your shoe. You want Papi, sit down here, take off your shoes. So, yeah, we're going to
Mr.
blow
So
him.
don't make it look like that, please.
We're going to blow him.
Don't
Why
make
you
it look like
think,
that.
you think Marina, no, why
I-
you think Marina growing that? Yeah, Marina even taking you to eat that, you Papi, your baby. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is quite interesting. Koto, um, where is the gap here? Before Mali will come in before we change the topic and go to these numbers and also throw the number out there for our people. Everybody seems to be satisfied here. Is he putting NEC on edge? Say, hey, you are the authority. We will give you the opportunities, but whatever you have, it generated from us, their pool washer, their representatives at the place. Both parties, the NEC, the CDC, UP, I mean UP, all of those that were represented, it is a consensus. They all sign up, I believe, the tally sheet stamped to say, yes, this is the legal document. Is he putting NEC on air yet, getting them on record? We're going to give you the chance. We're not going to call, even though previous time he said by 3 a.m. we're going to call. He walked back on that. Of course, everybody like to build that momentum in your side, but he changed the narrative. We're not going to talk about that again. This is in the face of the camera now. Is that the right way he getting the going?
Thank you, Mr. So. I quietly listened to Mr. Mali. He seems to not be going along with, I think, development or how say or technology. We're no longer in the dark days. That things will be happening and we will not be seeing them as they unfold. Okay, they did it for the first round. But I can tell you, this is what we talk about, experienced people coming to do the right thing. You see exactly what the person is doing and unveiling those things that we did not see before.
Right.
And I can assure you that from the analysis that American were able to do, they were able to discover that there was some irregularity that went on in Grand Cru
Right.
that is now going on an investigation. Unlike the first round, it was difficult to track those things because they were not using the means or the medium through which he is using now to track these polling sheets, the tally sheets. We have the tally sheets. We are entitled to it. They give it to every candidate. Okay? You have your tally sheet, like I firstly said. You have your gray sheet that was given to you previously. You have your report card. You have your test paper, everything. And you telling me that, like the teacher is saying, don't pronounce yourself that you're passing. So what right now the teacher will have to hold my passing, well, my grades in my possession. And this is all, he's just exhibiting what we have. Okay, you talk about the CDC exhibiting some intelligence. Is it today, is it this election now that CDC is exhibiting? One past election, they were pronouncing themselves winners. But the fact is that it's shown, it's clear, it's glaring. We're seeing everything, the tally sheet and not projection. And he did not say this is the final that he's saying. He said projection. And if you see it on his sheet, it said we are projecting. So that's the projection we're going by. And by what you have is by he's not going to manufacture those tally sheets. It's the tally sheets that were given to our poor watchers. So wherever, and I just telling you about what happened in Grand Cru. Now today, after Americana was given the final, the report came from NEC that they are going to investigate the discovery that they made. Because there were two poll watching centers that the voters were more than the registry. So it's impossible.
Sure.
So those are things that then it's unfolding as he's going through the process. Because if I know my grade was so amount and somewhere or the other, the teacher went and made a mistake and put a wrong grade, I would figure that out. And we saw that even representatives where at the time in the October 10th election, there were changes on the tally sheet that went on NEC. But because they didn't have this means to go through the process and go along and start checkmating what is going on with NEC, it was difficult to track them down. But I can assure you, Mr. Bali, it's not difficult to track it. And this is just the means we are advancing. And this is where we should use the knowledge that we are acquiring and apply it. That's just, even besides what America were doing, the only thing I could not have gotten is I could use even what they call Excel and tally those things. I say, come, probably I might not be able to exhibit those sheets that he's doing. But technology is it's just improving. It's just making the world smarter.
Okay, guys, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I gotta go back to Malays in the interest of fairness of this sort of barrage of onslaughts of his view and analysis. This is LPR. We'll be right back.
The Matiaka was a kono. Kwana go manga, will need to packet the Mati and Nitavazo. Would Damaga in a packet in a packet to aga Nuva go. When Nazu, God was sick, I knew what other you ever ma. I'm a man no telling or go quinny tin or go quinny. Gadate, Gada Gadi's a caravizo.
Our projection, but we're going to hold far with that here. Mala Jones, let me just bring you in here. Close to chapter on this conversation here, because I intend not to bring the liberal back into this whole thing yet, because he's going to definitely explode. I don't want to bring him back. Are you surrendering to these guys? Have they created political intimidation for you to cross over to them? Are they successful in their argument?
Well, the only thing I have to offer here right now is that, first of all, I want to thank my fellow panelists for their salient and wonderful analysis on this issue. You know, the cross-fertilization of ideas is always good for our growth mentally. But however, I still maintain my ground that Amara Kone, what he did today, he should have kept his card to his chest. I still maintain that. However, I hope in the future, when numbers start to dwindle downhill, if that possibility exists, I hope Amara Corner will continue to appear to get us some of those numbers. It should not only appear when the numbers are good, brilliant, and very beautiful. No. Even when they begin to dwindle, I hope he will come back again. However, as I said, from my opening statement, I want to thank the panelists. I mean, they also had a very rich input into this discussion. We all can be on the same page, but it's good for this platform. But I want to now move on to why is it that the UP allow the ruling CDC party to obtain 300 votes, and they're receiving 1,000 votes in the backyard of His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Boakai, Unity Party. I'm still puzzled about that, and this guy is making a lot of gains in Lofa County, the backyard of the Unity Party, and that is also a worrisome.
Can he share all the data where you got that from, that they're making gains in the backyard?
That's in the Kolahun district.
Oh, yeah, I said, okay, let me bring in FOIA.
Okay.
According to the moderator, he read some statistics yesterday, and where in FOIA, after counting, I think, all the precincts, Ambassador Boakai got 1,000, and we have got 300. So our funny problem, why we have got 300 in the backyard.
What
Coming
percent
now.
of the vote have been counted in FOIA?
No. I'm talking about FOIA. I just gave you a case.
What percent of FOIA have been counted that we're looking
No,
at?
they say all the precinct put together. Total.
No,
it was 1,000 voting FOIA.
No, it was 5 polling precincts.
Wait a minute. You're giving me break now. We are listen to me. We are having a healthy conversation today. Let us not inject the liberal virus into the discussion. It's one at a time. So
The liberal virus, wow. Mr. Mali use this kind of
okay, that was Celebratory. That was liquor turn.
I'm telling you.
Because I strongly believe the liberal, when he's ready, he's very persistent and constant and interrupting until you have to take your breath. So that was a slip or tongue, a liberal. Don't take it serious. However,
I enjoy it. Thank you for recognizing my talent, by the way.
Yes, that's a tough one. But however, the moderator was reading something from Lofa County yesterday, Kolahun, Bolahun, but my eye caught this FOIA thing where they said Joseph Baka got 1,000 votes, and we have got 300. Even though most of the diehard did not find problem with that 300, but I found problem with it because this is Joseph Baka's backyard. You see, so I've been wondering what went wrong. Are you there, sister?
Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
I could.
You don't mind?
Yeah.
And you see, this is what we don't understand. That make politics unique. This shows that we all here have diverse interests. It is not because we are at the LPR here, it means that we all agree to one thing. They might be in Joseph Baka's backyard, but there are people who don't believe in Joseph Baka, and that's their right. You can't deprive them of their right. That's their view. I mean, we should be tolerant of our acceptance of others. That's just what they believe in. They don't believe in Joseph Baka and Pira. You accept them for what they believe in. That doesn't mean that when Joseph Baka becomes president, he will not be the president for all of them. But for now, they don't want him to be their president, and that's what I think. That's the answer to that.
Okay.
Well, I actually think though, if we go back to round one, again, that was the reason I was asking what percentage have been reported, right? Because if we go back to round one, in FOIA, where Thomas Fala won, I think Thomas Fala had about 12,000 votes. George Weah had 10,000 votes in FOIA in round one.
Yeah.
Eric, can you lower your monitor, please? We're getting a feedback.
Yeah, we're getting a rinking tune. That's something ringing.
Yeah, lower your monitor. Go ahead, then I'll go to the phone line.
So if then my brother is asking me, 300 is 30% of 10,000. I mean of 1,000, and that margin is even wider. Really, if we want to look at that to make any prognostication, that margin is wider than what happened in round one. Because in round one, Thomas Fala won FOIA with 12,000 votes. George Weah had 10,000 votes. Even though Jose Imambwaka still won FOIA. And so for me, if I'm looking at those numbers, I'm not worried. Because if the man had 10,000 votes in round one and we're just looking at 3,000 to 1,000, that for me, I think that margin has been widened. If we really want to look at the data that way, but again, that is one data point. It does not set a trend. But I am always mindful of what happened in round one. In round one, we were talking about 10,000 votes in FOIA. So right now, I don't think the Unity Party should be worried about a 3,000 to 1,000 ratio of votes. If you get that in Lofa County, then CDC is going to be decimated in Lofa County.
Okay. Let's go to the phone line here quick and get a first reaction. Aaron, good evening. Let's hear you. What's your side?
How you doing, Mr. So?
Good evening. Thank you. Go ahead.
So, I just wanted to comment on that. I was saying a few things. One, you know, let me applaud Amara Kone for what he did. Even though I know, you know, there was a partisanship, we understand that, but let me applaud him for that. First thing I would say about that is, if Amara Kone claim he got his data, he got his scholarship, he should have sat down today and listened to what NEC were pronouncing, and then compare it. Okay? Including the entire Unity Party team. Unity Party team that I know, Amara came out with that analysis. They would have had a press conference. Luton Papadon would have been running Texas Cattle in Monrovia with press conferences. How they bring nobody should test the result and things like that. We saw them with the blue flags today. The only thing I'm going to say is we're going to wait, let them count the vote. We know what happened when the vote was counted the last time. So, I mean, if even you were the dean of mathematics, or so whatsoever analysis you want to come up with, we didn't do mathematics in school. We will sit and wait for the election commissioner to count the vote. We will accept the result. When we win, we hope they accept the result.
In 30 seconds, there are a few number here. Okay, quick here. Thank you so much, Aaron. Let me go to General Jerry Cummings. Cummings, good evening. And then I will be going to the 763 number and go back to the panelists. Let's hear you. What are we going on?
Good evening, Mr. Soul. Let me say good evening to your co-panelists. You know, I just want to commend Mr. Sissy, and Sissy, I still look forward to seeing the book on the market and to read the book a little bit and learn from you as well. I want to bring Mr. Marley up to speed. You see, what Amara did today has changed the current trajectory of analyzing election preliminary.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, good evening.
Hold on 1 second. Somebody on the line.
If you go back to the 1985 election, Emma Hammond and Board of Commissioners, while the tallying was going on, Robert Phillips was few black. And Emma Hammond said Robert Phillips was cheating, when in fact, he was not part of those who were doing the tallying. That led to the arrest of Robert Phillips. So what Amara did is a new formula that changes what we see yesterday. And the caller who just left a few minutes ago, I hope he is a student of history, because as far as my members served me, the CDC was the one in the 2005 election and the 2011 election. They were the one who took the airway even before the incumbent or before Madam Sabine. So it was not the Unity Party. Even the 2017, it was not the Unity Party.
All right. Gerald, just hold on there. Let me, if you want to stay with, or you can stay there. Let me go to these other folks. Let's get them, please, 45 seconds quickly. The line is loaded here. 763 number 2833. Good evening, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Benjamin, and I'm calling you from Minnesota.
Let's hear from Minneapolis. You have two of your buddies from Minnesota here. Are you from in the coalition with them?
Yeah. What happened is that even though we appreciate what Amara Collins did, like for what Mr. Mali is saying, we look at our country, right? Where we came from, people back home don't understand the statistics, they don't understand the educational side of it. They were exited. Right now, as we speak, the guys on school, not claiming that they have won. So they are raising any hope to their supporters. So that tomorrow when the results come out different, then they will come back in the street say they were cheated because Amara Kone projection claim that they won already. We are talking Even today, the election commissioner said warn everyone that they shouldn't listen to anybody until the electoral process is over. They have the final say. It is not a bad thing to project the result. Do you think CDC don't have people in a war room that can project the result with it? They are the current government, they have the statistics in the country. They can do the same, but mind you, if they do the same, the way I will understand it, the way Mr. Caesar will understand it, the way my culture will understand it, it will be different from the way the layman down there will understand it. Because let's take for example, Spoon right now, right? Spoon is reporting that they are wrong, using 500 opposite. And why you get because another person that feels on it? We let you know we get it normal because they know they're forgetting to know that American is saying projection. And projection is not accurate enough, and the other thing that is accurate. They're just trying to show some data statistics how they go up there. But I just pray that it remain peaceful when the result change. Everyone should accept the result and just remain peaceful. But it's good anyway. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we here at Coast Point here, we're not projecting anything. We are just having the conversation on the numbers and how they came to light here. 267 number 5983. Good evening, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, how you doing, Louis? This is for early yesterday. There was on the executive mansion website. They projected themselves
as the winner.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Somebody is on the line. That's what I just for you to hold on. Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, quickly. On Freedom FM yesterday, they projected, not even projection, they announced that CDC have won. It was the time Jefferson Koji and all of those guys took the street. They were dancing all over until the president called, according to my information. The president called and said, hey, you should stop. This is the reason why they stopped it immediately. And Yeager took the street today. And what I want to say in short, Alfonso, is this. Mr. June, this is the reason why the kids are saying we, the older people, we should leave these things with them. This is modern technology world that we are in. I don't think Amara did anything wrong. Amara projected Maryland today for George Weah. George Weah won Maryland. Let me say this. Let's take the entire Southeast and give it to Mr. Weah and give it to President Weah, former President Weah, and give it to him. What happened? Yeah, what happened to this country? So for real, so for this reason, Nima County alone double the numbers in the Southeast. Bone County, double the number in the Southeast.
Yeah, in 30 seconds.
Lupa County, double the numbers in the Southeast. What happened in the Southeast? It's not good. Like Lodi was saying, you cannot tell another person, don't go do this, don't go do that in Southeast. Southeast is part of Liberia.
Okay, thank you so much.
Amen. Thank you very much. Unity Party has won. Everything is over.
All right.
Thank you.
So listen, this LPR, so you know you take responsibility of it. We've been projecting. We probably not projecting anything yet.
Mr. Mario, where is Kaza?
Who? 502. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. You say where is who? Okay, 502.
Yeah,
502.
He's suffering from electoral fever.
Yeah, this is Kofi. I'm calling from Kentucky, actually. We'll go to be precise.
Let's hear you.
Anxiety.
Yeah, I'm following the program, and actually, I really appreciate it. But I think as a Liberian, we need to actually embrace innovation. You know, Liberia have been so beautiful on the people for the past year, but the practical aspect of it have not been happening. But this young man called American, I think, has demonstrated a complete
the level of intellectual behavior. If we say you intellectual, the word intellectual comes from intellect, which means people that think and then put it into reality. And with what he has done, I think it's time for us to ready to say goodbye to our way by way of doing it as Liberian. Everything we do, we criticize. People try to emerge with innovative ideas and stuff, we criticize. At the end of the day, when we say, oh, the Constitution, everything in the Constitution is so beautiful. But at the end of the day, in terms of implementing it and other stuff, they're not happy. Now, Brian has traveled. People like American, they've been in the U.S. for a couple of years. They have acquired a degree, and these are people that have credibility. These are people that are working World Bank and other stuff in other international community. So if they go back home to kind of like put our electoral process on their heel, it shows that we will show. I mean, we try to kind of like take a trajectory in Africa, not just West Africa, but in Africa, that yes, indeed, Liberia is the first nation that that got our first independent in that country of Africa, and they are the first country that an independent party came up with a suggestion statistically that went exactly in line with NEC. Okay. But it's all looking at it from that standpoint. We are just looking at it from a negative aspect. But I want every Liberian to kind of like embrace innovation. If you see your friend, let's take Amaral in context, but if you see somebody doing something that's very, very genuine, you compare to other developed nations like America, the like of Europe and other places, embrace it. You know, not to be too political and stuff, but for me, I would just go ahead to call to just emphasize on we Liberian, we have to embrace innovation, or else Liberia will never develop. Liberia will never go forward. Let's do the criticism aside. We have one Liberia, and let everybody embrace Liberia when it comes to development. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your words here on LPR. We intend to leave no one behind. 503-8164. That's the last caller. Jerry going to get his straight. Then we'll go to the panelists to make their closing argument as we embracing the next consignment or next provisional result. Will that be the game changer? Will that give you a clue where this thing going to end? Let's go to 503 number 8164. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. So, and good evening to the panelists. My name is Lucien Bonnie, coming from Pennsylvania.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you for the show, Mr. So. And I want to say thank you to your panelists for the discussion. Mr. So, this is my thing. You know, Liberia, like the previous caller just said, that Liberia, we should embrace innovation. Because people come from the Western country, they go to school, they get a degree, work in the World Bank, and all those different excuses. Like, people that work in the World Bank, they can make mistakes or they can do wrong. You know, our country, Mr. So, one of the problems for me, I see as a young man, we have to be honest. Because one thing on our side, we want to beautify and we want to glorify and show that, yes, it's the right thing. But if the on the other side of the iron and we're not in favor of that person, even that idea is genuine or is good, we don't embrace it. And these are some of the things that we have to really fight as a Liberian, especially for our generation, in this era, in the 21st generation. We need to be honest. The election, according to our constitution, are the people that have the responsibility to supersede. We need a developed country. I've been in America now for like 12 years. I can see election here in America, people just jump on the street and say that we're protecting our vote. People causing problems, people doing things. But there's the same America that we always set example on. So why is it almost like when we go here, we look at all the good examples, but when we go to Liberia, for example, I went to Liberia to the airport. A man leaving from America going to Liberia. They're respecting immigration. They're respecting police officers. But can we do the same in the United States? Can we go uniform? Police uniform in America, when they're talking to us, we don't do that. But in Liberia, we do the same. So sometimes it's like we contradict ourselves because of lack of honesty. And these are things that our generation we need to fight. The country, at the end of the day, Liberia belongs to all of us. But if we say we want to make Liberia better, we first have to start making ourselves be better. Not just the other person that maybe we're not favor. Thank you, Mr. So, for the time.
Thank you so much. We are about to wrap the night of here. Let's go around the oil field. Jerome Cummins, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Let's get the last word. The first provisional result today, 22.33, and everybody freaking out. People saying why Amara did what he did, and everybody jubilating. Yaka Koluba CDC initiated, Yaka Koluba followed suit. I'm not sure whether there will be another dancing group tomorrow as the result of the consignment that will come in here. It wouldn't be a surprise when the ties or whatever we're going to have. But what are you looking at now? Quickly here, put it into context. Based on what we got today, Cummings, where is your eyes being kept to see what's going to happen?
Well, my eyes is on the presentation of Amar Khan, and I'm also watching the president. I watched earlier on the prediction or presentation, not in its totality from Costa and his group. And I'm also watching the National Elections Commission as well. You know, Mr. So quickly, just before I leave, right? When the 2005 election, former Senator Vani Shema, when he was the presidential candidate, he was the first person that brought professional guys from Ghana to introduce what they call opinion pool through the phone. It was Vani Shema. That was the first time in the history of our election. So now we see another, we enter into a new trajectory where Amara Khan is presenting something, not only Amara Khan and Williams, the guy from the Lakers as well, is doing, he did a whole presentation today, and that is good. So like the caller said, we must embrace innovation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let's go back on the live field. The Liberal Progressive is based in Sacramento, California. Sister Goya in Minneapolis. Sharing notes with Tyree Collins. Carter Jala is in New Jersey. And right here within my own proximity, he's been heavily crucified here this evening. I don't know what's going on, really. But I like the way he put it. He's standing his ground and holding obvious. So, gentlemen, we are about to go. It's very morning hours. It's morning hours in library. What you say, Libra?
I said, I quit saying he's standing on and I'm no ground.
Still fussing with this guy. Okay, it's already morning hours in Liberia tonight. Sooner or later, in the next couple of hours, they're going to converge at the National Election Commission's headquarters. What could possibly be the next discussion when we examine here based on all of these things that's happening? Do we think, I'm wondering if whether it's on purpose or the election NEC has been strategic to stabilize the tension, breaking them bit by pieces. Do you think we're going to exceed 50% tomorrow in these provisional results? Because if that happens, we could get a clue what's going to be happening. You think so?
I think we'll get close. I think Demetria Lasana in one of her, in an answer to one of the journalists, said that even though they have 15 days by law, they were hoping to try to get done before the 15 days. And she was like, we could come here tomorrow and maybe have 50%. But I don't know if they will get to 50%. But it is a mixture of being very careful and being strategic also, because they don't have the luxury of posting stuff that have some mistake, somebody changing a 1 to a 7, like happened the last time, where they still have some neck temporary workers right now being persecuted for that. So NEC has to be extra careful, right? Not like they political parties that can just post stuff up. NEC has to look at those numbers and make sure that people didn't tamper with them. They have to be extra careful in how so that's why they're a little slower than the political parties will otherwise be. And it's understandable, you know. So I think tomorrow we get more. And like I keep saying, tomorrow CDC is going to go up because the votes are going to be counted from the southeast.
Why are you making that prediction that CDC will go up?
That's just how the data is going to work. And that's just a strategy. Look, you look at patterns. What happened in round 1? Right. It's exactly how it went up. It was up and down, up and down. Oh, wow, oh, wow. So they calm people down. I think that is their strategy of trying to calm down.
So basically, they allow sedition, blood pressure, cholesterol to go up. Now they have to stabilize
and stuff.
They have to stabilize it tomorrow.
Yeah, but you know, you know, this is LPR, and when people come here and make statements, I like for us to be factual, even if they're our callers. There's a caller that said in America, you know, people don't go to protect their votes. That is not quite factual. As a matter of fact, there was a ruling in Mesa, Arizona, when armed masked men show up to protect their votes in Arizona. and the judge ruled that they could stand 75 feet away from the polling station. So
Yeah, to protect the voter themselves as well.
Yes, in Texas and in Georgia, people are allowed. There are conservative groups that brought people to stand there. In fact, they were checking people ID and questioning some people and say these people are not here, and those people had to go through extra check. So when we say these things, Madam can here and make up our own story to help us. This is LPR. We are not the Co-Spoon Network. We are not a COPA network. We say the truth here as it's supposed to be. Now, having said that, look, I really am struggling to understand what's the argument here against Amarakonen's point that he made. Because for me, I'm looking at this from a purely intellectual point, right? Amarakonen put data out. Are they arguing that the data is wrong?
No.
And if the data is wrong, show us yours so we can use that to judge his data. And if it turns out that what Amarakonen has put out is wrong when NEC released all of the other polling points, then we already have his data to go by and say, oh, shame on you, Amarakonen, you lied to the Liberian people. So Amara has put his neck out there. I really don't understand the intellectual argument against this. The only thing I would say is that I will keep saying this, and I said it from the beginning, Amarakonen has raised the bar. He has clearly put a deep line of demarcation between intellectuals and intellectuals. And the intellectuals are not happy.
Oh, what a new word creation here. That's the innovation of this network.
I've been using that word a lot.
The man's a mathematics, so he can do whatever you want.
Self-control.
The intellectual are the ones that you would not come and put their idea out there, but it would just be there be insulting. Using those S word or those working on word, just releasing them without putting up the issue where we can all discuss it.
Wow.
Those are the intellectual.
I've seen it happen.
From the war, you can
the happiness is really flourishing.
No, by the way, please wait 1 second here. Koto, you owe me big time. That video they played for you during the break. Remember that video, Mr. So brought that video for a reason. In that video was the time was not supporting Joseph Boakai, right? And she was telling put him there with a beer. You don't mind.
Yeah, it's only
you see that. Mr. So made that thing for he brought that up for a reason. Koto, you owe me.
Do you know about that one there?
Wait, you want to be an instigator on this network here? You should be the guy to be making peace. My goodness. Okay, Terry, you realized already. I don't know whether you're in your office on the 8th floor or whatever you are. Maybe you're working with Joseph Boakai. I don't know. Look, are you going to sleep sound tonight? What are you looking for seeing happening tomorrow? Possibly.
Well, since I don't know, but since the second round, I've been sleeping sound. Unlike the first round, even though I've mentioned on this network about the electoral fever and that Mr. Mali talked about, and I was affected by it. To be honest with you, I had the virus of electoral fever in the first round some way.
You're confessing that to us. You were pretending.
Yeah, I'm just confessing to you. I'm just confessing. I was a bit nauseous. I don't know what was happening. And when I deduced, I said, oh, this is the fever Mr. Mali talked about. And I'm not going to allow myself to punish myself for that. But to be honest with you, the second round is not happening to me like that. I'm calm. I'm cool. It's just, I'm at a point wherein anybody wins is okay. The only thing I want to see is a new Liberia that, in my opinion, and that is why I don't want for President Weah to win. I said it last night, I'm going to reiterate it. Because in my opinion, I believe that if President Weah do win these elections, he would think that the Liberian people love him still. And he would be more lackadaisical because he would think that, the people still like him. And to be honest with you, with all the projection of Amarakonen and all that, it seems that the Liberian people still voting for President Weah.
Sure.
And that is not being discussed. Amarakonen projected is 700,000 Liberians voting, almost equivalent. There is a pattern that Sese talk about. There is a pattern of what transpired in October 10th. This trend is almost similar. There is no too much of vibe. There is no wide difference between the numbers that we see coming in, and that is what I'm astonished. I'm really astonished. Even if Ambassador Boakai is going to win this thing, which I believe he's going to win, I'm looking at his win would be not less than 20 to 15,000 over President Weah votes. That is my projection. I could be wrong, but yeah. So I'm calm because, to be honest with you, on the overall, from a divine place, I believe that Ambassador Barker will seal this thing. Thank you very much.
Everybody going on Mount Zion and putting themselves in that attitude of holiness and calm, I believe, trusting God, some miracles intervention.
But yeah, before I go, Mr. So, I forgot. I wanted to say something to the caller there. He talked about CDC. You know, CDC projected themselves as winner first. We must get that. They were all over the place that they won. Then what surprised me was the propagandists for Freedom FM were dancing in the studio. Last night, did you see that video?
Why you can be dancing here too? You want be in one clothes?
You can't compare the liberal. You can't compare the liberal with a CC journalist, the Augustine Will. All right, the Augustine Will guy was dancing in studio, literally. A guy who's going to be giving, a provisionary result. This guy was dancing, celebrating for President Weah victory, and it rather surprised me. I was amazed. But now we don't see them on social media. So I just wanted to put that in. But anyway.
That's a danger. But then this whole free world, infringing people's civil liberties and all of that, I didn't see those days. Who is the owner of that radio station? I never saw Patrick Minicont. Who was the national security or NSA having these things? So it's a hard thing to talk. It's a bone in the throat thing there. So, well, people got to dance because what do you think? If they win it, he will still get his job. He needs to get that job, whatever it is. But unfortunately, we don't dance here. I never dances. I never dance. Only one person kept dancing.
I'm the only one. Bring it to me.
I never saw you dancing. The only person that danced on this network, and we are tired of talking about it, is that gentleman there. But let me come to you, Koto. Okay, so
you tired talking? You go from you tired suffering to you tired talking?
Tired dancing now. What is your expectations in the next 2 days, Madam Balaya?
Thank you, Mr. So I see people expectation lifting up, and I see people hope being lifted, and I see our people getting their smile again, because actually it's stressful. To be frank with you, seeing we are being president from January was kind of giving me high blood pressure. I don't know how well I was going to live with it. And I see somebody saying here, I'm working for my money. I wish I was getting the money. I'd rather spending my money. so they get it the opposite way. Okay?
Why? What is it? Is it what? You working for what?
I'm working for my money, so it means they pay me.
Oh, you need about it?
I don't know whoever paid.
What are we doing free thing? I beg you, yeah.
So I rather the opposite way. I think I spend my money than somebody paying me. So I think this is the thing that we all fighting for is for.
Malice, I think they put you in different mood. Why you telling yourself also done like that?
You got it. The liberal, I think the liberal decided to change the position.
You see how you play yourself? Malice Jones.
You're not there again.
I think he left it.
Something to wait there to the man.
I'm going to sleep.
Let me move here and come back. Oh, why not to money? We're not getting insurance for that year. I beg you. Go ahead.
So I see the hope of our people lifted again, and like what Terry said, I want to believe what he said. There are people who still love Weah. And if you really give them a chance, they will really know what love for Weah to be the president for the next 6 years, regardless of the suffering they're going through. That's how they love Weah. But unfortunately, he didn't take it that way, that the people love him and to reciprocate his love towards them. But again, that's what it is. They're going to see a better government than what Weah government is. And we're hoping to see that as of January. And I want to lift their hopes up. They're not going to be disappointed in the election of Joseph Barker. Even those that did not elect him will benefit from his government. That's what I believe. And that's what
Okay.
I'm hoping for.
All right, Libra, see what Jennifer is telling you about me, the best host when I'm on here, how the program can be like and stuff like that. Not you.
Let me see what she said. She talking about me. She don't know how to spell the knee. It's T-O-E. You're talking about you?
Yeah, a disaster. Okay, the Liberal Progressive. We are about to conclude. Let's see here. Tomorrow is what? Thursday, Friday. I can forecast by the time we get to Friday, we'll probably get a sense of where this whole thing is going to. And there is a reason. You know, all of these things, people they don't know. They're not just going to come and run. NEC is very strategic. They know what is going on, and the political tensions is high. They're not just going to dump everything here. Every dump here, what you think we're going to be doing? We're going to be talking here. So other people dance. They have legs. They're tired with bouts of rock and control. But on the serious note, liberal. If for any reason why it is going, why we do appreciate the intellectual display of Americana. This one I can appreciate. The one that I found on here when people brought these empty plastic bag, we win, we get it data, we get it data, and nothing to exhibit. That is so ridiculous for to see leaders, and you know these are people that create unnecessary tension. And I said that the other terrorists here. I said when this guy camera came into the picture of Joseph Newman Boycott, we saw stabilizations into the campaign being restructured. His endorsement was quite different from all of the other people.
Right.
Because outlined point by point, and not just only that, he went further to explain why he took that decision. That's how you convince people. Let me come to the paper here. Please, as we are about to wrap up here, let's leave it simple as it is. No nyama nyama before we go here. I beg you this evening. I told you I am not in that mood. I didn't go to work today. Only today I'm going. I don't want to go with headache. So let me just tell you right now. So as we are about to go, the Liberal Progressive. I'm wondering how will the Liberals exhibit on this network by the time we get to Friday, Sunday, Monday? What will be your move on this network?
Papa, sorry. Our man fool us. Our papa, sorry.
You dancing again? You dancing too?
Look, Mr. So, thank you very much. It's a wonderful show. Since they're nice to have you again, Carter. Nice to have all of you. I think
who doing this?
Johnson
Liberal is the greatest on LPR. You see this?
I tell you, they love me. They love me.
Wow. Hey, Johnson, you came in tonight. I will not sleep. Go ahead.
But anyway, so you young people, when you guys come out here to help this old man carry out some message, and I really appreciate it because the way all of you, Terry, every one of you on here, your contribution is very valuable in terms of educating our brothers and sisters, and I think that's exactly what we try to do on this platform. But let me just say this here very shortly, a short one, and that is, this is the difference between Ambassador Bakai and Madame Salif. Amar Kone has always been a smart young man. When he was in Philadelphia, very smart. When he did the IT stuff, he was top of the class. There's no question asked. So when he went to Liberia to work with Madame Salif, they did similar stuff like this. But Madame Salif and her people, her son, they do not want to share the glory with anybody. They do not want to share anything with young people because of American import into that. You know what, Madame Salif sent him straight to Boston, the Kennedy School of I think of whatever policy or whatever. Yeah, because of that. So Amara came here and spent in Sacramento. He has spent about, I think, 4 or 5 days with us here. I got his speech here, wonderful speech he made to the community. You know, so I have had some engagement with Mr. Conner. But the point here is this: Ambassador Baca, you heard Americans saying today when they asked him, will you come back here and do X, Y, and Z? He said, only when the leader approve. This is a hallmark of somebody who respects not only leaders. Americans told me a story here in Sacramento. Let me just tell you this. He came from a village. He said when they were growing up in that village, they have a devil. And that particular devil, that man, even whether you're in the devil form or not, you can't pass on your right-hand side. So all the children, he said, all in that village, we know when the man coming, we go on the left-hand side. He said, after the war, recently when I went back home, Mr. Toll, he said, everybody, they see men still alive, but people passing on the right hand. I said, hey, they're not the same men when we, they say time has changed. So he knows these things. He knows the culture. He knows the value of Liberia. And I think he will do a very great job. He will do a very great job. And Mr. Soul, thank you again. But lastly, I'm having the show tomorrow. I'm going to be Unity Party, Ambassador Baca all the way. You don't want to hear Ambassador Baca need, don't come on my show. Because I'm not going to take prisoner tomorrow. And if you think LPR is going to sanction me, you got another thing coming. I'm coming on the same platform. You show tomorrow, and you think you want to continue me, I will put you in a bike. I will pack you and Mali. No question asked. You come in tomorrow, the way I run my show, you follow me, you enjoy yourself. I will be dancing. I will be dancing for whatever we win. We are just dancing. I will be dancing and praising Ambassador Baca. That's all I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So if you want to enjoy yourself tomorrow, join me. If you think you're going to come and throw your CEO weight around, it's not going to work with a liberal tomorrow. I'm free. This is America. I have the right to run my show the way I feel like running. And that's about it. Other than that, Mr. So, I will say thank you very much. And
my own cardinal here is in support. I can't believe in support of the liberal. No, you. This is not a work of a cardinal. Okay, all right, guys. Thank you so much, Cotto, Terrace, Goyot. I'm waiting to see the liberal. Are you warning me? Are you not? Are you telling me I'm not part of your show tomorrow? Is that what you're telling me?
No, you can come in, but I'm in control.
What I mean?
It means if your view don't match my view, I kick you out. You come, we better come ready to praise Ambassador Baca tomorrow. You won't praise Mr. Ambassador.
Don't come. What are you going to do when you get the presidency? When people when I get all your two, you want to be that you not we're not part of CDC. I get
let's say that president worship tomorrow. So you part of president worship.
That's a special time when I get my work done, so I will not even be on anyway. Okay, thank you so much. Look, Madam Phillips, we say thank you so much. Let me start dancing before me. Are you serious? Yeah, man. Why are you doing this? You want to start dancing before Mr. Tour? You guys get in trouble with it. Oh Lord, this is not working. Gentlemen, good night.
Good night.
It's not working. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Okay, look. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, to all our viewers, our listeners, we say thank you so much, Jennifer, and all of you. Look, that's the beauty of this network. We agree and disagree. People have to speak their views, their opinions. We do appreciate. Also, let us know where we're falling short, things that we are doing that is not correct. That will help us to know. You can disagree with us, but we do know national conversations requires tolerance. I am not talking about my home. We are not talking about any of the guys' home things that they do. We are talking about a country, a sovereign country. So we do know and aware that diversities of views going to be different, and we understand that fully well. And talking about a country, we have to exercise that tolerance. And that's what is lacking in our society. Be persuasive in our argument, be more illustrated. You don't just say something without you backing it. That's where the problem is. We really want to thank you so much for your time. Well, let's keep the country in prayer. Ultimately, there must be a winner, be it the president or Ambassador Baca. What we are doing now, we are just having these conversations. It is in the hands of the National Election Commission, and they are close with the authority to announce these official results. I can for sure tell you By Friday, we will get a sense where this whole process is going. And people must be able to accept what comes out. If not, there's a process, there's a channel where you can go to express your grievances. We should not allow. And I think these leaders must be able to take control of their people. And that's why it should be like. You can't have somebody support somebody, you say, oh, if you support a person, it means you respect and believes in the person's ideologies. And that should be your hallmark. You can't say you support this person, you have your own way of doing things in support. That's just being crazy, and that doesn't help that person. Whoever wins it, I see Liberia to win it. But with the politicians, will they change course? We hope no matter how these results turn out to be, it is not because of their own personal aggrandizement to come and tell us tomorrow or day after. Helen Johnson administration that did that. CDC did that. So it would be like Black Dragon revenge the death of Bruce Lee. That's not what I want for our country. We need people who will take the bull by the horn. People must be held accountable, including ourselves. We who sit as a talking here, we must be held accountable. It is so frustrating to see our politicians who are not apologetic of their actions. I've never seen very few of them, Liberian politicians, to take responsibility of their way of doing things, even the wrong. Guess what? They always give justification to their action. Unlike in the West, they will stand by their wife, their children, and say, I am sorry. How many of our politicians, some of these reckless statements, corruption, things to say to people that they feel hurt, they never come back. They are so defiant. How can you have a sort of non-consolatory mind that you can't even realize something you said down the road, someone was offended, and you do not have the guts to come back? So if you become a leader, it makes it very difficult. And so people that are around the leader themselves, the part of when you are around the king, you behave like the king's children. You can't hang around leaders and be making regular statements and say anything that you want to say because somebody said it yesterday and it got to get away with it, so you are saying it today. That's not a good example. We are in it for a better Liberia. And we are aware freedom comes with huge price and consequences. It's not an easy journey. We do believe, as long as this process was held, it was held peacefully as far as I'm concerned, with less and minimum happenings across the country. It's everywhere, even in the US and other parts of the world. We saw how the tension was coming. Hopefully, the Unity Party of Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka, the ruling establishment of President George Weah, no matter the outcome of this election, hopefully they will put the interest of the country first. If you were celebrated yesterday as a winner, you could flip on the other side, other people could celebrate different percent. I am not here to call who is winning. We will be looking up to the National Election Commission. Do we not have some numbers here that we could come and just make arbitrary projections? No. But this network is quite different. Spoon would be spoon, freedom would be freedom. You listen to the tone, you listen to the people that they declare their support, who they are supporting. So their tone, their language would be different from any other place here. So it is you, wherever you go, what you process will eventually play into your mental capacity and take some of these decisions. But we are not. What we say, we are responsible for it, and where they say they are responsible for it. But we feel that someone must stand in the middle to intercede that we allowed Liberians to have that freedom of discussions about their country, and not necessarily. And we do appreciate you. Some of our conversation, it does not favor your political taste, but yes, still, you are here every night, every evening to listen, not because you want to see her, but because of the passions and the love of your country. Thank you so much, and have a pleasant evening. This is how it stands as far as we know. Yes, here today, according to the National Election Commission, the first provisional result, CDC 49.29%, Joseph Newman Boyka 50.17%. We created this buffer zone. This is weird. the chief occupants, whoever maybe we are maintaining the keys to the building, or will he transfer the key peacefully to Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka? The question is unknown. In the next couple of days or so, we shall find out. God bless Liberia. Thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. I will talk to you when I see you. Bye-bye.